Okay, hi, it's Lisa Lovestone again, here to read The Golden Future, Chapter 26, Part 3. I am doing everything I can to create room on my phone so it doesn't keep saying storage full and stops my video. So I'm not going to talk a whole bunch because I want to try to get through Chapter 26. So this is Chapter 26. Part 3. I don't know where I was. Give me a second to figure it out. Okay, chamber 5 or room 5, right? Our inner chambers. Chamber 5. In this chamber, you seek the gratification of a sensation rather than an expression of love. Let's think about that. You seek the gratification of a sensation. So the sensations can be an orgasm, a kiss, getting stoned, getting drunk, rather than the sensation or the expression of love, expressing love. That's okay. I'm going to think about that. I don't have any advice to give on that statement. Okay, when you have learned these 5 lessons, you move on. It is possible, though, to continue your journey but still have stuck energy in a particular chamber. In the next 3 chambers, the lessons are about balancing your emotional needs. Okay, so that was well, I felt like this whole chapter was about it's all about sexuality. So, okay, let's move on. Chamber 6. Here you offer emotional comfort to others because this is what you need yourself. You may give your all in a relationship in the hope of getting it reciprocated. You are warm and loving, but underlying it is your neediness. Emotional rescuers are stuck here. I fit right here. And I know that, I recognize it, and I'm working on it. And this is part of why I've left so many friendships, which has been a healthy thing for me to do, because my relationships are, I give and give and I receive so little. There's only been a couple of relationships that I did let go of that were equally giving, or at least, giving quite a bit. However, when they say something that tells me how they really feel, I'm wondering if they're giving also because of their neediness, and it's not sincere. So yeah, it's pretty complex. But if my inner self says it's time to let this go, then I'm gonna. Now, can we come back together later? I don't know. Maybe. But I'm gonna be busy healing myself. Are they gonna be busy healing their self? Probably not. Because all I see them doing is going right back into the same behaviors. But while I'm not a part of their life, I don't know what they're doing, right? Only time will tell. All right, so Chamber 6, definitely I apply here. So here you offer emotional comfort to others because this is what you need yourself. You may give your all in a relationship in hope of getting it reciprocated. You are warm and loving, but underlying it is your neediness. Emotional rescuers are stuck here. But I can say truly that I am also a caring person. And that's not based on my neediness. That's based on who I am. I know that for a fact. So my neediness is less and less every day as I continue to grow in self-love and self-esteem and self-care. I'm giving myself what I need. And getting rid of the people who make me constantly feel rejected, like I'm not good enough. To take the time, right? Get rid of it. Chamber 7, this is a transitional chamber. It moves you from nurturing someone else in order to get something back to being able to nurture genuinely with love. Okay, so moving from nurturing someone else in order to get what you need to being able to just nurture genuinely with love. And I could say I'm doing that, right? All my kitty rescues, they're not giving anything back except for, their adoration of me and their purrs, right? But I'm giving them genuinely out of care and concern. I am genuinely caring about them. Because they certainly aren't taking care of me. They're stray kitties. In this relationship with Will, that's still friendship dating, I find that I have been genuinely caring about him. I genuinely care about my son. That is for sure. So, I am capable of genuinely caring about others. Chamber 8. This too is a transitional chamber. As you move from insecurity about your sexuality and possibly shutting it down or expressing it inappropriately to a sense of security, self-acceptance, and assurance. This is particularly important now as genders are becoming more fluid in preparation for the golden age. Genders are becoming more fluid in preparation. So in the golden age, am I not going to have a gender? Am I going to be genderless? Just when I decided I like being a woman. So, moving from insecurity about your sexuality, I don't feel insecure about my sexuality. So, chamber 8, I suppose, doesn't apply to me. When you have mastered the lessons of the first 8 chambers, the frequency of your sacral chakra will rise as you become more genuinely kind and loving, nurturing your friendship and care for others. You are now moving to the higher lessons. Chamber 9. When you have progressed this far through your sacral, it starts to ascend and begins to glow. This chamber radiates caring, tenderness, and nurturing so that you attract people who know how to love. You care for each other, and this enriches your friendship as well as your partnerships. Partnerships with an S. So, if you're stuck in any of these chambers, like I'm definitely in 6 but not stuck, because I am healing and moving on, I would advise that you either get this book or just rewind the video and go over it and over it till you've got the chamber fixed. That's my advice. And people, I would love some comments. Are you doing any of the practices in this book? Are you in a place of where you're learning to do self-care and self-love? Are you self-harming? Self-harming is cutting on yourself, eating too much, not eating enough, not showering, having sex that's meaningless. That's very self-harming. There's no such thing as having sex for fun. No. You hurt your soul every time you do that. And there are physical things it's harming as well. I won't get into that. It's very difficult to explain. Okay, so if you can get through all these chambers, move on. So when you care for each other, and this enriches your friendship as well as your partnerships, you become caring, tender, and nurturing. Okay, so that's chamber 9. Chamber 10. You become more sensitive, warm, compassionate, and tender in your relationships. Yes, I definitely am. Chamber 11. You reach out with love to others. Well, there's not a lot of people left in my life. But yeah, when I reach out, it's genuine. Chamber 12. Now you're genuinely able to give love without holding back or expecting anything in return. Absolutely. Chamber 13. You share love, you give and receive in equal measure. I would say in some ways my son is doing better about that because of the boundaries I set with him. And when he hurts my feelings, instead of getting upset, I say, hey, I didn't appreciate you saying that. That was not kind. And he'll say, "You're right, Mom, I'm sorry." Instead of getting upset and saying, "Why do you keep saying things like that? That's hurtful." Right? You know you're healing when your reaction is peaceful, thoughtful, right? Mindful, okay? Chamber 13, you share love, you give and receive in equal measure. Chamber 14, you express transcendent sexuality and pure love. I don't know. I don't have a sexual partner. Chamber 15, your purpose in the physical act of sex is to bring in a soul. In the physical act of sex, your purpose is to bring in a soul. If you do not have children or you have unconditionally conceived, you may have learned this lesson in another life. Well, they're talking to people as if they're in their childbearing years. I can't have sex in order to have a child, to bring in a soul. So chamber 15 doesn't apply to me, I guess. Chamber 16. This experience is about carrying a baby with love and being part of an extended network that is lovingly supporting the pregnant person. Again, you may have done this in another life. I don't know. Chamber, the 33rd, wait, we go from the 16th chamber to the 33rd? What? Thirty-third chamber. Encapsulating the sacral and navel is clairsentience, where you tune in to the emotions of others. In the golden era of Atlantis, some people became androgynous when they had mastered all the lessons in the sacral chakra. At that time, this center was only about expressing pure spiritual love, so people only had sex if they wanted to have a child. I mean, I would love to have a child, but I'm too old to have a child, and I've had a hysterectomy. I would love to have a child. Knowing what I know now, being healed, yeah. Some people became androgynous when they had mastered all the lessons of the sacral chakra. Some people. Not most people and not all people. Okay, keywords there. At that time, this center was only about expressing pure spiritual love, so people only had sex if they wanted to have a child. This is inconceivable to most people now, but it is part of the fifth dimensional blueprint of the golden future.